It is just about the time that the sun is coming over the hills, and I'm going to walk with my bicycle here to wait for that moment. I had done a riding this morning, which I will post later. And in this riding, I was writing about how I do not have inner language. And I was emphasizing once again the importance of this illusion that we have, that there is language inside of us. And I was sort of imagining that that if you hear me or if you read me, there's very few people that listen to me, there's very few people that read my text. If you happen to be such a person, you must be somewhat puzzled or annoyed or maybe even bored with my insistence that it is really true that there is no inner language. And yeah, I just want you to know that I don't have inner language and you don't have any inner language either. But you believe you have inner language, and that's why you suffer the enormous consequences of the negative consequences of your disembodied language. Yeah. And I have the consequences of my embodied language. So that's what is the big difference here. And it is only for anyone who is going to explore that difference a matter of acknowledging that difference, because that difference is what I've called the binary. Yeah, the binary meaning that, yeah, you can only have one without the other. You can only have embodied language if your disembodied language stops. And to stop your disembodied language is really to stop your belief in your illusion of inner language. So, there it is. And so I speak here on my own authority about this matter, and I write about that, and I do that as often as I want and as repetitive as I want. And if it annoys you, well then, big deal. Good. You should feel a sense of discomfort. You should be concerned, let me put it this way. You should be concerned because it is true what I'm saying. And if you verify whether it is true, yeah, if you would do the experiment as I ask you, just do the experiment. Sit by yourself, talk with yourself, begin to say what you supposedly think. Listen to your sound while you speak, on your own, alone. And then, if you verify if it is true that there is, of course, this difference, I mean, you know, it is already true without you verifying it. Of course, there is a difference between when you listen to yourself and when you don't listen to yourself. And of course, it is true that, yeah, just the truth that you don't even know that you're not listening to yourself, that you've never paid attention to this. So that is true. And so, yeah, you are unknowingly, look at that, there's all these little frogs jumping around here. There's so many, look at that. There are so many of them. I have to be careful not to step on them. They're all over the place. There they go. Tiny. But it is true what I say, and once you verify for yourself and see like, oh my goodness, it is true. It is true what he says. There is no inner language. Of course it is true. And of course there is a difference between you not listening to yourself and you listening to yourself. I mean, how can you refute that? So my insistence is just because, I do what I need to do to have embodied language, and I will continue to do what I need to do to have embodied language, and that's how I can be the way I am.